Yeah, you effin' with some wet-ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word.
Hey guys, what's up? So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the ultimate knight build for Vesteria. So what the knight is they're essentially a tank, and if you haven't played an MMO before and you don't know what a tank is, basically a tank's the person in your group that's taking all the damage, because you'll have your healers that have all their stats focused to magic and healing. You have your DPS, which has all their stats focused to doing damage, and then you have your tank, which has all their stats focused on taking damage. And the reason you want that is because your damage and healers, your DPS and healers, they're not going to have the health. So when they get hit, it's going to hurt, and they're probably going to die from a couple hits. So your job as a tank is to take all those hits so you don't get affected and your teammates don't get affected. So anyways, first thing you're going to want to do is when you hit level 10 is you want to come to the warrior stronghold, which is above the redwood forest, and you want to just go into the castle and talk to this guy right here, and you'll be able to join the warriors faction. Once you hit level 30, you'll be able to choose a subclass, and for that you're going to want to go to the right of the castle, which is right next to the blacksmith, and talk to this guy right here. Upon talking to him at level 30, you'll be able to join the knight subclass. Alright, so on to stats on what you're going to need. You're going to want to put 50 in strength, and the reason I say to put 50 in strength is so you can get that 1.1 times damage to enemies below 30% health, plus you're a warrior. Your main stats are going to be focused on strength. Next, your big stat though is going to be vitality, and the reason for that is, like I said, as the tank you're going to be taking all the damage. So as a warrior, or as a knight and as a tank, you're going to want that health so you can take that damage. At 70 vitality, you take 20% less damage after you use an ability. So even if it's something simple like, okay, I roll, boom, you're taking 20% less damage, and that's going to help you out a lot because all the enemies are going to be focused on you. Next, you want 17 intelligence, and if you want to mess around with this, you can, but at bare minimum, you need the 10 intelligence so you can get that recovery of 1 magic point. Next, 10 dexterity, and like I said, you can mess around with dexterity and intelligence, which you want the 17, what you want the 10, or if you want to do an in-between. Just make sure dexterity is also at least 10, so you get that movement speed of +1 and that jump of +2. Now onto the abilities. For the adventurer book, you're going to want double slash for obvious reasons, and then regeneration at 5, just so you can get a little bit of health back here and there, because you're going to be, like I said, you're going to be taking damage, so using regeneration to get some of that health back, that's not going to be bad. And then you could choose between magic missile and rock throw for the rest of your points. It doesn't matter, you're not going to have either of them put on your hotbar. Next, onto the warrior book, you're going to want 5 into triple slash just for that damage, and you're going to want 3 in quick slash. Now, quick slash you won't be using at all because you'll have different moves to be attacking with. The only reason you want 3 in quick slash is so you can unlock these other 3 abilities. So onto combat roll, you want 5 combat roll just so if you do as a tank get stuck in a position where you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna die, you can just do that quick roll out of there, and you get a lot of speed on that, and it comes back pretty fast, and you can just keep rolling back and forth, and it's good when the enemies are focused on you, kind of pulls them away, makes sure no one gets hit. You're also going to want 3 in parry, and the reason for that is if you have a group of enemies attacking you at once, you can just use parry, block most of the damage coming to you, and hit as many of them that are within your range, and that's just good to have. If you want to put that at 5, you can. I wouldn't recommend it. And then I have ground slam at 5, and these are the 2 I say you can switch if you want. If you parry more than you ground slam, put 5 into parry and 3 into ground slam. But the reason I have ground slam at 5 is because I see myself using that more personally. With a group of enemies, I can just ground slam, hit them all, do a good amount of damage. So that's essentially why I have 5 instead of 3 here. But like I said, these 2 you can switch. Onto the knight book. You're gonna want, this is just really simple. You're gonna want 10 in inspire and 10 in taunt, and the reason for that is, as a knight, you're more so a support. So you're going to want to put that inspire 10 out of 10 just so your whole team can get a buff of defense. And then the biggest ability for a tank and for a knight is the taunt, because that will make enemies in your area focused on you. And that way your team is not, taking damage. Shout out to that guy. So the reason I put this at 10 is basically for the cooldown on it. the cooldown on taunt is really fucking long, and if you have a really long cooldown on that, there's going to be a point where the enemies are going to start focusing on your teammates, and you can't taunt them again for a while. So you want that full cooldown, so that way when the enemies are no longer focused on you, you can just taunt them again, and boom, they'll be focused on you again. And then I put one into Shield Bash, because, you know, really the only difference between Shield Charge and being 1 and 10, the only difference is the damage, and you're already having your ground slam, your parry, and your triple slash that are already doing a good amount of damage. And you know, 200 for an attack is pretty good itself, especially when you can hit all these enemies at once with 200 damage. I think 1's enough, and it's not really needed because you're not a damage focused class. So that's it for the abilities and stats. Onto the actual gear. Now for the gear, I recommend the Dune Plate, Chest Plate, because of the 129 defense, strictly for that. For the helmet, I say Helm of the Ancient Order, again, for the strength boost of 28. That's going to give you an insane amount of strength, and be able to give you that little more damage. Next, I would say the Gladiator Boots, not because of the defense, not because of the stamina, but because of the strength +5. Like I said, you're a warrior. Your main stat is strength. And because you already have your vitality overtaking strength, you need that boost in strength. So that's why most of these items are giving you strength. So that's why I chose the Gladiator Boots, which give you the +5 strength. Next, the shield. And the obvious reason for that is the damage taken, -20%, the Tuthafa's Buckler. And you're a tank, so you're going to be taking all the damage. So if you can take 20% less damage, that's good. You want this shield over any other shield in the game, I promise you. That is probably the most important piece of gear for this class. And then next, my personal choice is the Sunblade for the strength +10. Now I do realize there's a variant of another weapon, I can't remember what it's called, something's edge, that gives you more strength, but the chance of getting that is very rare, and it's just not worth the time. So I do recommend just using the Sunblade, because the difference in strength isn't that big of a deal, because you're already getting so much strength from all this. So you're already, with all this gear, you're looking at 93 strength. So now your strength is over your vitality, and your vitality is still getting that 70 boost, so that's exactly what you want. So if this guide helped you guys out, make sure to like, subscribe. I post more Vesteria content, but I'm also looking for other games to post, so if you guys have any ideas on some fun, entertaining games that I can post about, or make guides about, let me know in the comments. Make sure to join my public Discord, which is in the description below, and check me out on streams. I give away 100 Robux every stream, and I have proof of that. I have logs. I show it on stream, because people want to call me out saying I'm a scammer, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, here are the logs. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.